So in here we got some baked taters. They're going to be some tater wedges. And over here we got some boiled taters. And we're going to make a tater sauce so you can dip your taters in taters. So these are all the ingredients you're going to need. Just taters. No, just kidding. You need some almond milk, some garlic powder, some Frank's Red Hot, and some nutritional yeast. And that's really it. Oh, maybe a blender. That would probably help. First step in making the potato sauce, you need a messy kitchen. Second step, you take the taters and you just sort of plop them on in here. I don't know exactly how much I put in. I just put in that looks good. About like that much. Maybe you can see, yeah. There's some ounce markers on there. There's some milliliter markers right there. So that's like roughly how much I put in. Now the rest of the measurements are pretty easy. All I do, I gotta smell everything before I put it in. I put in about 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. I put in about 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. It depends how cheesy you want it. Next step is adding the liquid. The original recipe called for lemon juice, but I really like almond milk better. I feel like it gives it more of the texture that I'm looking for. So I'm putting in 2 tablespoons of almond milk, but if it gets to be too thick, I'll just add in more liquid, and that's pretty much all you do. But I feel like 2 tablespoons is a good place to start. And maybe like at least 1 tablespoon of Frank's Red Hot, because Frank's original Red Hot it's not very spicy, so you don't have to worry about adding too much unless you add like the whole fucking bottle. So all you gotta do now is just sort of blend away, and you don't really even need the top on, especially if you're using like a thrift store blender like mine, because it's not very powerful anyway. And as it gets going, then you may need to put the top on, but in the beginning, you really don't have to worry about it. Alright, this is definitely looking like I'm going to need to add in some more almond milk. Do at least 2 more tablespoons, so we'll be up to 1/4 of a cup of almond milk so far. And the cool thing about this recipe is since you're doing this in batches, you can taste it as you go and then just add more Frank's Red Hot next time. Maybe add more garlic powder or more nutritional yeast, depending on how you like it. Or if it's too thick, you just add more almond milk and then you just mix it in, and you're just sort of making the recipe as you go. 1 final tablespoon, so up to 5 tablespoons for this batch. Alright, so this is really getting to be the consistency that I'm looking for. So I don't want it to be too thick. I mean, hey, if you're all about that thick sauce life, you go right ahead. If you're about that soupy sauce life, then add even more than what I'm doing. But I'll show you guys what the consistency looks like when I pour it out. You can see it's kind of thick, kind of slowly moving out. I may thin it out a little bit, but I really like the consistency right there. So as you can see, I'm just taking a lot of it out, but it really doesn't matter if you get all of it out because you're just going to be putting more of the same ingredients in, so don't really fuss about getting them all out until the last batch. Alright, so this is the finished product. This was, I think it was like 4 potatoes, and you know, just it was 3 total batches, I believe 2.5 maybe. So this was about 4 potatoes worth. Maybe like a cup of almond milk, a couple tablespoons of Frank's Red Hot. This made a lot. Let's see, there's a cup marker on here somewhere. It's around 4 cups of sauce. And the great thing is this sauce is great for you, so you can just eat the extra, and you don't have to feel guilty about it because there's really no bad guys in here. I mean, it's pretty much just potatoes, nutritional yeast, hot sauce, almond milk, and more potatoes. So I got some curry powder on here. These are pretty stifling because it just came out of the old oven, but this is all you gotta do. So good. It's cheesy potatoes without the cheese.